Hello there, welcome to the Profitable Traders. I'm about to share with you one of the best ways to profit from scalping, in other words, day trading, using nothing but price action alone. And later in this video, I'll share with you my predictions for next week. Therefore, watch the video till the end. And if you find it interesting, smash the subscribe button and the notifications bell so that you'll be alerted whenever we upload new videos. Coming up, I took this trade on 24th. As you can see, it turned out to be profitable. It was about 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio with over 80 pips, nearly 90 pips, around 87 pips to be exact. Within a few hours, my position was filled. And before I share with you the technical analysis behind this trade, let me first show you the trade that I took last week and turned out to be profitable. It was dollar Swiss. It was this trade, dollar Swiss, and I made a video about this trade last week. I will first display that clip of the video. Lower time frame, which is a 4-hour time frame. We have this market came to this level of structure, again came here, making the first low, making second low, bullish candle. At this bullish candle, as you've seen the video clip, last week I made my analysis from a daily time frame. And in this daily time frame, we saw this market was in a downtrend, making lower lows and lower highs, and then made a higher high that closes above the previous level of structure, then made a pullback to this level of structure, and it does not close below this previous level of structure. To my indication, I was seeing a new trend beginning to start. I went to a lower time frame. It was a 4-hour time frame, and in this 4-hour time frame, there was a double bottom here. There was this one bottom, the second bottom, with this engulfing candle, and this where I got into the trade. And since then, this turned out to be a win with about 75 pips, which is 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. And since then, this market is still continuing to the upside. Probably will come and hit this level of support previously that's now acting as resistance. So what do I do next year on this currency pair, which is dollar Swiss? One of the two is going to happen here. If I get a pullback that pulls back to this level of resistance, then I'll look for an entry reason to continue to the upside. But if I don't find a pullback and this market continues to this level of resistance now, then I'll look for an entry reason and come to the downside. Either way, I'll just wait for what the market will do and get into the market. Now back to our scalping strategy, which was on Euro New Zealand. On Euro New Zealand, what I did was to identify my key levels of structure, the dynamic levels of structure. And as you see this, what do you think is our dynamic key level of structure? If you say here, yeah, we have this market being pushed down massively to the downside at this level here, and this level also has pushed up this market to the upside. And when you come here, this level, the same level of structure here, has pushed this market to the downside. This key level of structure is a strong level of structure. It has acted here as support, it has acted here as resistance, it has acted here as resistance as well. And when I was seeing the market going up to this level of structure. I was expecting this market to react at this level because this is a powerful level, at least a push down up to this level of structure. So what I did when this market was approaching this level of structure, I went to my 4-hour time frame, and in this 4-hour time frame, as this market came up to this level of structure, I didn't see any entry reason, so I went again to an hourly time frame, and in this hourly time frame is where this magic happened. The market moved up here, making the first stop, made a pullback, and going up again, making another top, making a double top. And when you see this long bearish candle, this is where I got into the market, and the market got pushed down, and it was about 90 pips in just a few hours. I went to a daily time frame and identified my dynamic levels of structure, and when the market was approaching this level of structure, I went to a lower time frame and I saw this double top with a bearish candle. I got into the market at the close of that bearish candle, and my position was filled within a few hours, and I expect this market to continue to the downtrend, at least touching the previous level of structure, or even crossing below this previous level of structure, and to continue to the downside. And this strategy, I use it for both scalping, and I use it also for swing trading, where I hold a position for more days or even weeks. Euro dollar, we're on a daily time frame, and on this daily time frame I have identified my key levels of structure. This is a key level of structure because it was tested here as support here, support here, and let's move further to the left. It was tested here as resistance, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. So this is a key level of structure which is powerful, and when this market broke below this key level of structure, what I'm looking at here now is not an uptrend anymore. My bias, my directional bias has changed, and I see this euro dollar to continue in the downtrend. So what I'm waiting now is this market to make a pullback to this level of structure, then find an indication to continue to the downside. And if this doesn't happen, if this market doesn't pull back to this level of structure, I'll wait for it to come back to this dynamic level of support and look for a reason to go up at least a few pips up here before it continues to the downside. My next trade is Aussie Yen. The first thing you do here on a higher time frame is to identify dynamic levels of structure. And as I identify these dynamic levels of structure, I have this level of structure being tested here as resistance, tested here as resistance, was tested here as resistance as well, and tested here as support. And when this market broke below this level of structure, which was a massive push down without any pullback, so what I'm looking for here is to find a reason to go to the upside, because this market has come to another dynamic level of structure, which is support. And in this dynamic level of structure, here it was tested as support, here it was tested as resistance, and it was tested here as well as resistance, tested here as support, and tested here as resistance. So this is a key level of structure, and when the market gets into this level of structure as it has done here, I'll look for an indication to go to the upside as a counter trend before I expect this market to fall and to continue to the downside. Another currency pair is New Zealand yen. As I do it usually, I identify my key levels of structure. Here is our key level of structure, which was tested here as support and pushed this market up here. This also was tested here as support and pushed this market here to the upside. Now when this market came back to this key level of structure, what I will do here is to go next week to a lower time frame and look for a reason to go to the upside before it breaks and changes the direction. Another one is Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is similar to Aussie yen. This is a dynamic key level of structure that was tested here as support, it was tested here as resistance, tested here as resistance, and the market has broken and closed below this level of structure. And when it came to another dynamic level of structure that was tested here as resistance, tested here as resistance as well, I expect this market to find at least a rally as a counter trend before it continues to the downside. And if the market doesn't find relief up here, then I will wait for this market. If it closes below this level of structure, I'll look for a pullback to this same level of structure, then look for a reason to go to the downside. And these are my 4 currency pairs for next week in my radar, and I may come across some of the pairs that I haven't included in this video. When I find an opportunity, I will just take those trades as well. And this has brought us to the end of our discussion. If you have enjoyed this video, would you give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed? Turn on that bell notification so that you will be alerted whenever we upload new videos. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video next week.